What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Clippers Latest, where we talk all things LA Clippers, quick, fast, and to the point. I'm your host with the most, Brandon Goggins, back here with another episode for you guys today, and we got a lot to talk about with some Clippers basketball. But first, we're doing the vibe check. How we all feeling today? I hope that you guys are doing extraordinarily stupendous today. I hope that everybody had a good day today, or is having a good day today. Nothing but positive vibes. I'm sending through y'all virtually, you know what I'm saying, through the screen, vicariously, if you will. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well. You know, it's been a good day. The Clippers got the dub. It's always a good day in Clipper Nation when that happens. But we here to talk about it, so let's go ahead and recap this game. The Clippers, as I said, closed out the preseason with a 106-103 win over the Warriors. Our starting five was Chris Dunn, Kobe Brown, Derrick Jones Jr., Ivica Zubac, and our guy, Bradley Beal. Yes, sir. That boy, Bad Bill, back in the lineup, boy. What you talking? Well, I say back in the lineup like he was ever in one, but you get what I'm saying. Clearly, Coach Ty Lue and the crew decided to rest Kawhi and James as we get closer to the regular season, which I'm honestly not mad at. Chris Paul, I believe, was resting too. Is there anybody else I was missing? Let's see. What I say? Jones, he started. Zubac started. So yeah, Chris Paul didn't play. I think we cool because Collins played, but we'll get to that. But like I was saying, I do wish that we had gotten to see Bill run with the main lineup at least once in the preseason, just like I said, even if it was like 5 or 10 minutes, just to see what they look like out there. But hey, I guess they're saving that grand debut for opening night against the Jazz. But for his first comeback, I say that Bill looked pretty good. He looked pretty solid. 12 points on 67% shooting in just 15 minutes. You can't beat it. You know what I'm saying? He looked smooth. He looked comfortable. He looked efficient. Exactly what you want to see from a veteran guard coming off a short layoff. On the other side, the Warriors rolled out with Steph Curry, Brandon Podziemski, Will Richard, Draymond Green, and Al Horford. Obviously resting Jimmy Butler for this one. They also rested Jonathan Kuminga. We did not see Kuminga or Moses Moody in this game. Right out the gate, we got after him, man. Like, we were on that. We were on that for real. Forced 9 turnovers up early while they only got up 6 shots. Like, it's crazy, bro. That's what the announcer said, at least. I hope that's accurate. But that's what I heard. And I was like, oh, nah, that's crazy. We own that. But clearly the defense came to play. Then Ty Lue went to the bench early, giving the second unit some first quarter action. And that group consisted of Kobe Sanders, Jordan Miller, John Collins, Yannik Niederhauser, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Yes, sir. Bogey's back, too. It's good to see him getting some reps in before the season starts. He looked comfortable out there, you know. I feel like he looked all right out there. We did have a slower start to the first half, I'd like to say. But the second half got real competitive. And that was a lot of thanks to our young guys. They didn't back down. Never back down, never what? Exactly. But nah, they went toe-to-toe with the Warriors, and they helped seal the win. So that's a great sign heading into this regular season. And that's actually transitioning to my next point, which is depth is king. I've been saying it all preseason long, like, relying on our depth is going to be what pans out our success in the regular season. We had our young guys and training camp players come out of the half, and they held their own against some heavyweights, bro. Like, for whatever reason, well, like, do whatever. But the Warriors kept a lot of their main guys in. Like, Steph Curry went out there until 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in a preseason game. What are we doing? I'm like, Steph, what we doing? Like, he was really trying to win, but, like, you know, I honestly love that for our guys because, you know, in a way that's a test. Playing against players who are objectively better than you forces you to elevate your game. You got to adjust. You got to adapt. Think faster. Play harder. And I think our guys really did that for the most part. You know, at least what it seemed like to me. Yeah, obviously they still look young at times. You know what I'm saying? They had a few turnovers, some weak moves to the basket, and then we gotta get, you know what I'm saying? We gotta get in the weight room a little bit. And I definitely am pretty confident that I saw Steph torch both Jamil Telford and Patrick Baldwin Jr. from 30 feet plus, which is crazy considering that PBJ used to be his teammate. Like, Pat, you got to do something about that, brother. Can't just nah. I'm personally not going. I'm not letting him do that. So I don't know, but at the end of the day, that is Steph Curry. Once he gets hot, you gotta double team him, and I get that. But when you double team somebody, your rotations have to be perfect, especially when it's somebody like Steph Curry. He's too smart. He knows how to move the ball instantly. You know what I'm saying? He knows when the double team is collapsing, so he gets rid of it right before you get there to guard him. So those other guys that are in help defense, you know what I'm saying? They gotta rotate to that next stop fast or that next spot fast because the ball's gonna always move faster than the human can. So you already have to basically anticipate where he might pass that jump. So you got to stay in help, but you can't stay in too much help. You get what I'm saying? You can't leave a man because he's a smart enough guy to pass it to the open man, and they're smart enough to rotate the ball after that double team, catch defenses off guard, which is what happened to us a few times today. Once they put their bench in, with about 8 minutes left in the fourth, it became battle of the benches, basically. I'd say that their bench had more experience, but I feel like we had more grit, more energy, more guys who really wanted it, and I feel like that's what won us the game ultimately. Richard from the Warriors, he started heating up towards the end. I ain't gonna lie, I was getting a little nervous. I was like, bro, who he feeling like? Shout out to Will Richard. Shout out Florida Gators and all that. They won me March Madness in my little bracket pool that I played earlier this year. So shout out Will Richard. But I was about to say, whoa, no. I got scared for a second, but we held it down. And this game just proved again that having depth is everything. Being able to go beyond your second unit and still compete is what separates contenders from pretenders. The Thunder showed that last year, and this year, I think the Clippers are going to reinforce it. So I'm really excited to see what the bench is going to bring this year. And not just talking about the second unit, talking about the guys that may come after that. Somebody that may be seeing some significant minutes this year is our boy, Yannik Niederhauser. Or as I'm going to start calling him, YKN, because that name is a mouthful. YKN, he was everywhere tonight, though. Like, I know y'all saw him swat the mess out of Gary Payton in the third quarter, man. I'm talking about he sent that thing into another dimension. It was really off the backboard. But I was still like, hey, give me them. Come on, boy. What you talking about? Then he sent Al Horford into the stands. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, ABG, anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody. You young, you old, you hot, you cold. Yannick can fire. I don't know. But nah, like, I was looking at him today and I was like, okay, this guy, like, gets it. He's starting to understand how to use that size and that timing to his advantage. He finished with 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists on 50% shooting, his first double-double of the preseason. He was active, he was engaged, and he showed real potential. So I like what I saw out of him today. Obviously, he's still got some work to do. He needs to get a lot stronger and improve his post and lob finishing. But I know y'all saw that one dunk that he had on Creighton Post, though. I'm talking about he put that man in the casket. Straight yamming on him. What you talking about? I'm talking about, I don't know. But, they're not going to show that anywhere mainstream because, neither of them are big names yet. Quentin Post, I don't know, but I know that Quentin Post is all right. But YKN, he's younger. There's more potential there. So I'm with Yannick, man. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, they're gonna know the name Niederhauser soon, and it's not gonna be because they take 5 seconds to pronounce it. But nah, the whole bench went crazy after that dunk. You could really see the confidence starting to click for him. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he belonged out there, and that's what you like to see in your young guys. You know, the Clippers took him in the first round this year for a reason, and he's got tools. If he keeps developing like this, he's going to be a real factor in that front court rotation, man. They say that three's a party. They say that three's a crowd, but at center, we'll take as many as we can get. Shoot, this is an open party. You know what I'm saying? Open invite. Hey, come on. Lopez, Zubas, Niederhauser. Y'all, come on. I'll play the five. Shoot, John Collins, come on down, man. We might run a small ball. We run the five. But, nah, if that means that we got a serious three-man rotation with Zul, Brook, and YKN, whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? That's a great problem to have. What are you talking about? I would love that. So, shout out my boy YKN, man. He's proven why the rookies in this class are going to be something special. But I'm glad to say that he's not the only one doing it because my boy, last and definitely not least, let us talk about Kobe Sanders. This guy might be something special. Look, we already have a deep guard rotation, but it might just have to get deeper, bro, because Kobe Sanders is a talent that we cannot afford to ignore. We can't. He dropped 25 points on 8 for 15 shooting, gave us critical minutes. It was a big reason why we won this game. You know what I'm saying? And real quick, I just want to say a quick thank you to the New York Knicks, because if y'all didn't know, the Knicks actually drafted him 50th overall this year in this year's draft, and then traded him to L.A. What they know? I mean, that might have been the second biggest mistake that a team's ever made, trading a guard named Kobe on draft night. Hey, man, let it come to fruition. Y'all come back to this video, and I told you so. But nah, I know y'all saw that move that he put on Guy Santos in the fourth, though. That little shake and bake. Come here. Come here and one on your ass, boy. You talking about filthy, just disgusting. That was tough. This kid's gonna be nice. And teams are gonna regret passing on him. I'm telling you that now. And he's 6'7". And I'm not saying that in the cringe Gen Alpha brain rot thing that you see on your Instagram reels. He's legitimately 6'7". That's huge for a guard. Having somebody that size bringing up the ball adds a whole new dimension to your offense, bro. Plus, he's surrounded by some of the best guards in the game. Harden, Beal. Oh, shoot. Oh, my gosh. I got too excited. I got too excited to talk about Kobe Sanders. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. Y'all almost lost me today, y'all. Dang. That was powerful. But nah, as I was saying, Harden, Bill, CP3, that's some elite mentorship right there. You know what I mean? Like, being in that environment is only going to make him stronger and smarter. If you're a young player who's willing to be patient and learn the course of the game, you know, for the sake of long-term success, this is the team to be on. And honestly, I don't think it'll be that long before we see him getting some real minutes in the regular season, if we being quite frank. You know what I'm saying? Last episode, we talked about duos. We talked about Harden and Derrick Jones Jr. having a connection. We talked about Chris Paul and John Collins having that Wake Forest connection. But now we have the rookie connection. Kobe Sanders and YKN. I'm going to come up with a name for him later. But, you know, I can't come up with it on the fly right now. You know, I ain't no freestyle. I ain't no double XL or nothing like that. But I will have that for you guys in due time. But all of these duos are just getting started. And, man, this team's going to keep looking better and better every time they step up on the floor. I would be scared. For real. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments if you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought about this game. What did you think about Kobe Sanders' performance? What did you think about YKN's performance? How did you feel about basically our young guys playing the majority of the major minutes in the game? How do you think that squad looks? Who do you think will, you know, see some potential minutes on the floor in regular season games? And who do you think we probably won't see that much? Patrick Baldwin Jr. And then, yeah, just let me know what you guys think. How did you feel about seeing Bradley Beal on the court for the first time? How do you think that he'll play alongside Kawhi, James, and Zubats and Derrick Jones Jr.? But nah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. It's always been a pleasure. I hope that you guys enjoyed. As always, don't forget to hit that like button. And, of course, consider subscribing if you're new here. But like I said, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all be easy. Y'all stay sleazy. And as always, keep it capital peasy. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy. Peace.